So Ursula, who's the founder of Honor MD, which is a very clean line, which I personally adore. There's a lot of chatter on the internet, on social media, on all kinds of platforms, and a lot of people are getting confused about product ingredients, about quality, about all of that. And I get a lot of, do I need this? Do I need that? So my goal here is just kind of explain from the experts what some of these ingredients are. Hyaluronic acid is a huge ingredient right now. It's fantastic, and your Hope 2.0 has it in it. So tell me a little bit about hyaluronic acid and why you love it and why we need it.
Yes. So hyaluronic acids, whenever you're purchasing a hyaluronic acid serum, make sure that it has low and high weight molecular hyaluronic acid. And that just means that it can penetrate the skin. You really need both.
Because you don't want something just sitting on top of your skin. If you're doing that, you're just wasting your money.
Yes. So you want something that can penetrate and actually work for you. And so hyaluronic acid helps plump the skin, and it helps us retain moisture. So think of it as an anti-aging serum and a hydration booster. So people with oily skin can do this alone. If you've got normal or dry skin, you're going to want to layer like a cream or a lotion over it.
Love it. So one thing that I have noticed as I'm aging is that for me, having kind of a dewy mist during the day is really helpful. It's also great for like setting any makeup if you're wearing makeup, for kind of giving me a nice little boost of hydration. And I love the tropical mist. Tell me about that. Tell me about the great ingredients that it has.
Yeah, so we love this product too. And like you said, it's great post-cleansing. It helps, balance the skin. And you can use it over makeup and throughout the day just as a refresher. So it has hyaluronic acid in it. Again, we love hyaluronic acid. It helps really moisturize the skin. And then we have CoQ10 enzyme, which is an antioxidant and helps shield the skin from free radicals. And it has papaya and sage in it. So we really wanted to include great, powerful antioxidants that also had anti-inflammatory properties to really protect the skin, soothe the skin, and to give it that beautiful glow, and to also prep the skin for the next product.
So what is also great, besides it just being a nice mist, is that it is a pH balancer. And a lot of people need to understand that after you cleanse your skin, you're stripping your skin from what we call the natural moisture factor, which is that beautiful balance of oil and water. So if we're using the tropical mist, we're getting our skin pH balanced, so then the product that we use next is actually more potent. It penetrates better, correct?
Absolutely, yes.
I love it.
Yay.
So another hot kind of keyword is antioxidant, and we really want to be using and incorporating antioxidants into our skincare routine. And your Genetically Blessed is full of antioxidants, yeah?
Yes. So this is our hero product. We absolutely love it because like you said, it's an antioxidant serum, and we all need antioxidants. So it's something that everyone should incorporate in their skincare regimen. What's so nice about this serum is that it does so many things in one. So we included our proprietary antioxidant blend, which is cat's claw bark, coffee, and moringa. So those three are powerful antioxidants, but they're also highly anti-inflammatory. So it's helping to brighten the skin, it's helping to protect the skin, and it's helping with the cell turnover.
So it also, though, I have a lot of clients that are dealing with congested skin, oily skin, acneic skin. The Genetically Blessed is helpful for that skin type as well.
Absolutely. And so like I said, it does so many different things. So in addition to protecting the skin, brightening the skin, it also helps clarify. And so we liken this to a natural retinol alternative because it does have those exfoliating properties with the lactic acid and the vitamin C.
Well, I know that if I'm feeling like I'm congested or I'm breaking out or whatnot, I'll use the Genetically Blessed at night, and I feel like it clears it up. So, I'm not going to say overnight, but it's certainly very helpful for when you're feeling like you're a little bit bogged down or you're feeling a little dull or dry, whatnot. It's great with that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so the lactic acid and the vitamin C help with that. And also it contains niacinamide, which is a brightener. It helps with pore refinement.
And niacinamide is a really big kind of buzzword as well, and that's technically vitamin B.
Yes. So vitamin B7. And it also has GABA in it. So that's something that comes from a natural fermentation process, and that helps relax the wrinkles. So to come full circle, it brightens, exfoliates. It also has hyaluronic acid in it. So it moisturizes and it really clarifies the skin. So this is like our 5-in-1 serum, and it's really, really clean and safe for all skin types.
I love it. So in terms of cleansers, I always recommend that at night, if you've been wearing lots of heavy sunblock or you've had makeup on, I like to do a double cleanse.
Okay.
So I'll do more of an astringent cleanse, and then I'll follow it with the wild rose. In the morning, I will only use the wild rose because you don't need a lot of cleansing in the morning because your skin has been, hopefully went to bed with a clean face.
Agreed, yeah.
And one thing I also love about the wild rose is that it's amazing post-procedure. Post-laser, post-peel, post all of that. It's gentle, and it's also great for all skin types.
Yes.
So it's gentle enough to use on what we refer to as freshly ablated skin, if you will. So tell me more about that.
Yeah, so this cleanser, it's great for all skin types, like you said. Our whole line really incorporates anti-inflammatory ingredients, this one being rosehip seed oil, which is great for all skin types, including sensitive and acneic, post-procedure. And what's really nice about this is it can be used with water or without water. So sometimes in the winter, the skin gets really dried out, and it almost seems like water even irritates it. So, for example, like if I go skiing, my skin can get really, really dry, and I'll just use this, and I rub it all over my face, and then I wipe it off with like a soft cotton
didn't know
pad.
that.
Yeah, and then
Super cool.
then it does the work. It gets the job done without irritating the skin. But also, if you want to do a double cleanse, and let's say you just want to use this cleanser, you can use it without water, wipe it off, and then use it with water.
Oh, that's cool. That's great to
Yeah.
know. I didn't know that. I love that cleanser. I love it so much. I
I'm
love the
so
whole
glad.
line.
Yay.
Yeah.
Well, this is a true labor of love, and we just wanted something that was really clean but super effective. So that's how we created Honor MD.
Well, we should also then note that your partner in this line is wonderful, amazing plastic surgeon, Dr. John Diaz, who has an
Yes.
amazing practice here in Beverly Hills.
Absolutely.
And he also happens to be your partner.
Yes, and so we created this together, and I've always gravitated towards medical lines. And so, whether it was for my acne or my discoloration, I really wanted to, create things that were safe and effective. And we actually created this line when I was pregnant because I was dying for my Retin-A, and I didn't have it. And that's how Genetically Blessed was born, or I couldn't use it. So it was so helpful to have somebody who was such an expert, not only in formulation, but efficacy.
So, say you are pregnant and you're dealing with pigmentation, which happens a lot, or you're not pregnant and you're dealing with melasma, pigmentation, sunspots. We live in California, both you and I. Genetically Blessed helps with hyperpigmentation. Is it safe for when you're pregnant?
Yes. So I used it while I was pregnant. And so we do consider it bump friendly. It has been such
Bump friendly meaning baby bump.
baby bump.
Okay.
Yes. We have gotten so much incredible feedback about discoloration, specifically melasma, from a lot of our pregnant patients, post-pregnant patients, and anyone. You don't have to have had a baby or be pregnant, but it really does help lighten those dark spots and brighten the skin. So, we worked a really long time getting the formulation just right. It's a balance of really soothing ingredients like hyaluronic acid and niacinamide, also with lactic acid, vitamin C, and then our proprietary blend to really do the brightening. So we have found this great combination to really brighten and help with melasma and discoloration.
And if people aren't aware, you don't need to be worried about words like lactic acid. A lot of people get terrified of the word acid. And
Yes.
as we've explained earlier, hyaluronic acid is not acid.
It's not
it
technically
is
an
found in
acid.
our bodies. It's found in the
Yes.
viscous fluid of our joints. It attracts water to the area. It continues to bring fluid, water, whatnot to the area. So people being afraid of the words acid, I just want you to maybe also talk about how we don't need to be afraid of that word.
Sure. And you're right. I hear a lot about that recently, like the acid backlash. So it is super important to tell people hyaluronic acid is actually not an acid, but it's very moisturizing and does the opposite of what you think an acid could do.
Right.
Whereas lactic acid, it does have exfoliating properties, but it is something else that is naturally occurring in our bodies.
Right.
And it helps bring, not only does it exfoliate, but it does help bring hydration to the surface of the skin. And it's sugar derived. But what's really important to note is that we really focus on the concentrations of things. So these would all be considered very gentle. So we do compare our genetically blessed to a retinol, but it's a much lighter version. So it'll give you the brightening, it'll give you the, it'll help you with your discoloration, but it's going to take a little longer. So it's important to note that there isn't a ton of lactic acid in this product. We actually have 2% in it now with, combination with the antioxidants and the hyaluronic acid and the niacinamide. And there really is a lot that goes into formulation in the sense of making sure that it's not going to burn the skin. Will it cause some irritation? It might on some
Possibly, but
with
that
some
means
people.
it's working too.
Absolutely. There's that sloughing off
Yeah.
period that you go through with any exfoliating product.
So basically with Genetically Blessed, what we're also talking about is you've got this perfect little blend of, you've got your hyaluronic for hydration, you've got your lactic for exfoliation, you've got your niacinamide, and that's also very awakening.
Yeah.
So you kind of a real balancing act of each ingredient and how they work together. And
Exactly.
that's what a lot of people get kind of hung up on as well, is, oh, I want niacinamide, or oh, I want lactic. But
Yeah.
if you blend them together, you're getting like a really beautiful marriage of a more active product. And, considering that all the ingredients are perfectly blended as yours is with Genetically Blessed, you're going to get great results.
Absolutely. Without damaging the skin's barrier, all of the concerns that come with the lactic acid. But like you said, really perfecting that combination of active ingredients and soothing ones.
So a lot of people are having a lot of extra time doing what we talked about, screen time, in which the Hope 2.0 is great for with the blue light protection. However, I'm also noticing that some people are having a little bit more time on their hands, and so they're really bombarded with what everybody is saying about this product, that product. You need this, you don't need that. And I'm also noticing that there are a lot of outlets that aren't necessarily experts in the field.
Yes.
And so something that's really important to me is to really educate the population on what is the true meaning of clean beauty.
Yes.
And I know that Honor MD is a very clean line, and that's very hard. That's high standard to hit. And so tell me how you have gotten the stamp of clean beauty, essentially.
Yes. So I couldn't agree more with you. There's so much information out there and a lot of it's conflicting.
Yes.
So I think one of the main things that makes it difficult is there's no universal standard of clean beauty, right?
Exactly.
So it's up to the brand to really be transparent and tell the consumer this is our definition. So I always tell people our definition most closely aligns with Credo. And I think they've done a really great job of laying it out and saying, this is on our no list because of this study. This is on our list, our yes list because of this study. And if you look closely, a lot of the things on even Credo's no list, there's gaps. So they don't know for sure.
There's a lot of gaps, and there's a million apps out there and websites, and you can plug in different, product names or product lines, and you'll get maybe one version of it's this or another version of it's that, according to it. So essentially what you're telling me is that the efficacy of the product really depends on the creator of it, manufacturing, all of it.
I think so. I think you have to find a brand that you really trust and whose, Credo aligns with yours and ethics. Because if you do the apps, which by the way, a lot of those is pay to play, you can pay to be on those apps.
Oh.
So, keeping that kind of stuff in mind and taking all of that with a grain of salt, I think is really important. But finding a brand that's done the research for you. I mean, most people aren't a medical professional. Most people aren't a cosmetic chemist, and it's really overwhelming. So I think finding a brand who you trust and believe in, and who's eliminating things with a purpose. So we choose not to include some things because they, are hormone disruptors, but we have, studies or medical findings to back that up. Some people are like, well, I'm not going to include this. And when you ask why, they don't have an answer.
Right.
So I think just finding people that are, educators themselves that, again, are just super transparent and that have done the work for you. And they can cite the study that shows why they don't include X,
I don't
Y,
know
and Z.
about you, but if you start to read these clinical studies, they're intense. They're really intense. I usually, get through and then go to the bottom. You know what I mean? And see what's really being said there. But in order to actually understand the clinicals on any type of ingredient or product, whatnot, you really have to be educated, and you really have to have a passion. You really have to study in order to truly understand what all this means. And I guess, again, that's one of the reasons why I'm so excited to be talking to you right now, because there's just so much misinformation out there that it's my goal and my passion to bring the truth to, a larger audience.
And that's amazing. And it's because of people like you that, makes our job easier, really, because there's so much education that goes with it. But, to the consumers out there, they should be looking to you. You're a skincare expert, looking to medical doctors, looking to, formulators. Product formulators. And like you said, clinical studies, they're so difficult to understand.
They are.
I mean, I was able to choose my clinicals, but my husband really had to break it down for me. And to be honest, they're not written for the layperson. They're written for scientists and doctors. But if you can look to, let's say, a Credo, and they kind of have it all laid out for you, or you can look to other brands, including ours, really kind of breaking down the ingredient. There are some ingredients that sound so crazy, and then we've broken it down on our box in parentheses, like this crazy sounding. I mean, it's like niacinamide.
Right.
Now it's kind of a buzzword, but before people would be like, "What is that?"
What's niacinamide?
Like, it's
I know.
vitamin B.
Now everybody knows it's vitamin B.
So in
but
parentheses, I'm like, it's vitamin B. So all of those things are really helpful, because it's daunting to anyone. And then I think most people just turn to the easy outlet, which is maybe a blogger or someone that they like online.